Hi there, friends. Ken here, your thrifty apprentice. Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome back to another water soluble Wednesday. Today, we are taking a little bit of a break from Inktober, and I'm going to be sharing a loose rose watercolor sketch that I did that blew me away, and I couldn't believe it. Well, actually, I'm using gouache. This is the Turner Design gouache. As you guys know, during Inktober, I've been testing 3 tubes. I like those 3 tubes so much. I'm gonna be honest with you. I went back and grabbed 2 more tubes of different colors just to test with them, just so I could get a better sample from like the different color selections. And this is the first time I've ever tried to paint a loose rose. If you guys, as you guys may know, I always talk about trying to loosen up. So I just decided, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. So here we are. I'll be honest, I watched a few tutorials on how to do it, and then I said, you'll never know until you actually paint it, and that's what I did here. So I started out with the red, and ironically enough, I'm using the primaries, red, yellow, and blue. I'm going to be mixing yellow and blue to get green to go along with the sap green, or was it Hunter's green? It's one of them that I went and bought in addition to go with these. So red, yellow, and blue started out with really watery swipes of the brush, just kind of playing with the brush, trying to pick up on different angles, kind of imagining in my head what direction the rose would be facing and trying to paint the petals to, turn more that way. After I got the watery washes down, I went back and hit the edges of those watery washes here and there with a little bit thicker, or should I say more saturated paint. So basically I picked it up on the tip of my brush directly from the pan. Drew in a few stems that are going to become stems in, the entire stalk or stem for the roses once they are attached. Now here I'm playing with that cat tongues brush, which is the same brush I've been using the whole time. And I'm just kind of, pressing it down, starting on the tip, pressing down, putting up on the tip, trying to make leaves. Just some different loose techniques that I've seen that I wanted to practice on, and I decided to do it. And so this is where we are now. At this point, I was okay. I felt like, for this being the first time I was trying this, it was coming out pretty decent. I went back in with a heavier consistency of it. I want to say that it's sap green, but I really think it's Hooker's green. Hooker's green. I think it's Hooker's green. But I'll verify it and put it in the video description just to make sure. Now here you see that I'm using a watery wash of that green color to kind of go over the brown that I initially put down, just to bring it more so towards a green tone. Just making sure that the stem is, as thick as I feel like it should be to be as realistic as you would make it in a loose painting. I don't even know if that makes sense, but that's what I was doing. This is an experiment, guys. It was. I was experimenting. I felt like, okay, there's a little empty space. Let me fill it up. So then I started, kind of painting individual leaves with the tip of that brush instead of using the tip to the belly. And I'm leaving a little sliver of white down the middle of each of those leaves, just because these would sort of be bigger, all turned towards you, and I wanted to kind of give it that rose leaf effect. Now I'm gonna go back with the magenta, and I'm gonna kind of hit the end of those leaves, and I'm zigzagging my brush as I do it, just to give the leaf a little texture and to emulate the kind of zigzags that would be on a rose leaf. Now I switched over to a synthetic flat here, and I'm using that kind of the same way you see me going from the base of the flat, pressing down, twisting and lifting. That's how I did the first big one. And then the second big leaf, I just kind of painted in with the very edge of the brush, which you could use, sort of like you use around. Flats are really, really handy, and I like them a lot. Here I'm using that same technique again, just to make a really big leaf over here, fill up that space. I felt like it was empty over there. And the thing is, I like this technique with gouache. I don't know I haven't done it with watercolor, and I will. I'm definitely going to give it a try. But I really like the way it looked with the gouache and the way the gouache handled giving me time, especially on this cellulose paper, to kind of shape the leaf and shape the petals just in case I wasn't sure of it, but still keep sort of this loose look, especially compared to the type of detail paintings I normally do. So I'm throwing in a few more leaves right here in order to fill up the space above the big leaf. I think I put in 3. Now, there I made a little mistake and I tried to lift it out. It is gouache. It'll stain quick. So I scrubbed it out and used a towel to kind of, just remove that color, and then went back in and drew the leaf in again. You'll see it had a little texture in it because of me using the scrubber. It kind of abrades the paper. And I'm just going to splatter some paint in the background, and that's going to wrap it up for this very first loose painting with gouache. All right, guys, if you saw anything that you like, enjoyed hanging out, learned anything, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe. New and returning people who haven't subscribed, do consider hitting that notification bell. Hit up the video description for all the relevant links. And remember, as I tell you, my friends, at the end of every single video, just keep painting and crafting.